And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back as we have reached the halfway mark here for the World Team League 2024 Summer Code A Day number 2. We just wrapped up with our first match between Team Twisted Fairy as well as Hyperberg, and now we're diving into OFFSYDE versus Platinum Esports. Here we go. OFFSYDE, of course, they're a branch off, or they're a sister team to OnSide Gaming. They have uThermal, Rex, and Firefly. Meanwhile, Platinum Esports is a sister team to Platinum Heroes. As Platinum Heroes, they did kind of branch off and make a second team just so that they can also compete here as their own. And we have, oh my god, we have a Series 2 friends meet here, two comrades in arms, as these Terran players, these ex-Terran players are going to be facing off. I say ex-Terrans, Vindicta, of course, and ex-CranKy Duckling, the American Terran player, up against uThermal. Was once a Terran, but he's seen the light. He's now a Protoss enjoyer, a Zerg enjoyer. He is a random player. Let's go. Now, uThermal has been competing as random, but I wonder if he's rolling as random, as here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have rolling Zerg. Oh, let's go. It is a uThermal. In the top right, we have Vindicta for Platinum Esports. It's Protoss. I know it is. Okay, for those that are curious, uThermal, back in the day, he did compete as a pro gamer as Terran, but recently in tournaments, uThermal, he has been playing and rolling as random. And as I say that here, also random. Now, because of this, Vindicta doesn't know what he's playing. You saw that he was joking, right? Like, uThermal, he said, oh, like, you won't know what race I have, and Vindicta was predicting Protoss. Again, Vindicta does not know if uThermal is Protoss, Terran, or Zerg unless he scouts. Meanwhile, uThermal getting across the map, going for a proxy hatchery, at least it looks to be the case. SV moves out, drone is moving in. Drone is slipping into that main base here for uThermal. I mean, Vindicta now knows it is going to be a Zerg player with that drone scout. And I wonder what the plan is here for uThermal. Why did we send our drone across the map? It is very peculiar. Drone scouting is not really seen too often at all. There we go. Looks like they are playing on US East, and it sounds like there's some latency issues going on as well. As we're going for the proxy hatch. Oh, we're trying to. We just tried a nice block there out of Vindicta, out of Miguelito. Oh, the gas is going to be taken instead. But what just happened there may be a little bit because of that latency. Monka Giga Papi, as uThermal attempted to go for the hatch block, but was unable to in that main base. Behind this, uThermal going for a hatch into a spawning pool. Very interesting. uThermal's going for a gasless opener. Gasless build out of uThermal. Drone is going to be hunted down. Gas is denied. And as we get into this, I have to give the edge to Vindicta. I mean, even if uThermal is playing his main race, I gotta send it for my boy, Papi. Predictions of the chat, I believe, have been open, or I think they closed. Not so certain on that. Yeah, predictions, they have been closed. So for those that got their bets in, again, best of luck. As I do see uThermal trying to get into his third base. Going for the third. Reaper does slip in. Oh, tries to harass. Again, we're getting some latency here, but hopefully it does clear up as the game is getting underway. Okay, so we've loaded into post-youth. Post-youth is an interesting one. Of course, it does mean that we get a free natural base, a free hybrid base as well, and Vindicta is going for a third CC before starport. Very economic follow-up. I keep wanting to say YouTube, man. uThermal, he does go in for a scout with the Overlord. He will confirm the command center. So big scout here from uThermal. Does confirm the CC, as well as that delayed starport. Meanwhile, Vindicta poking in, trying to get eyes, trying to get a read on any hidden tech. We can see that uThermal has just been droning. No fast gases, no fast lair. Oh, as we're going double Evo chamber. Okay. Big scout here out of Vindicta. Double Evo chamber here out of uThermal. Very greedy play here from our Zerg. Now with double Evo chambers, of course, we're going to be rushing to upgrades. This does mean that the lair and the Baneling Nest are going to be delayed for uThermal. And we'll see if Vindicta can take advantage of that. Does slip in with some Hellions. Threatening that larva. Ensuring that there is no saturation at the third. And Vindicta will back off. Behind this is going towards Cloak Banshee. So 3 ACC Cloak Banshee, very standard play out of Migs. And we'll see what he can get done. We shall see. Hellions once again just looking for a way in, testing the waters. uThermal is getting into his Ling production. He's working towards his Lings. Lair is now on the way. Again, that should be for Baneling production. Well, that should be for Banelings for 2-2. Or Baneling speed. Oh, as a Hellion does slip into that third base. No Spore, by the way. Uh-oh. Yeah, no Spore in position. At the same time, Big Ling run by here at the third base. We do have Hellions to defend. Yeah, plenty of Hellions, but is in position. And the Lings are being cleaned up. We're trying to get some SCV kills, but alas, Lings are shut down. Meanwhile, it looks like in the middle of that defense, yeah, the Banshee was thrown away. Oh, Cloak was finished, but we weren't able to make use of it. Bit of a slip up there by Vindicta. The Banshee is thrown away. And the game will settle from here. We have Migs getting his Raxes up and running. I think we made a second Banshee. I hope we did, because we did invest into Cloak. Yeah, I think the second Banshee has arrived, has hit the fourth. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be rolling in towards that main. No Spores in position, but there is an Overseer in production. And we could go for some more drone kills. Going for the Queen instead. Bold move. It looks like we don't have a transfuse. The Queen is going to be going down. Not a bad pickup. We only get the Queen. As Migs is going to retreat. This time keeps the Hat Banshee alive. All in all, though, I'm not... I do actually quite like uThermal's position overall here. It's not too bad, is what I was getting around to saying. He's joining up to 65, 3-base saturation. His 4th base is on the way. He could do with some more droning, is what I will say. There we go, as we do have 6 drones in production. And once we get up to 80, then we can focus on just purely Ling Bane. And we'll see if we can get there. As Lings are threatening a run by. Try to slip in between the bases. He's going down. Meanwhile, a big drop here across the map, and there's nothing here to defend. Yeah, we go for the Queen. Queen goes down. 3 drones as well. Can we get the hatchery? I don't think we can. Lings, they do get here in time. It looks like we go for the base, and it will go down. Big pick off. A risky move out of Vindicta, but he does get a kill on the base. And that is actually quite huge. Because uThermal's going for such a Ling Bane heavy composition, we need as much larva as possible. Behind this, he has a Hydra Den. It's going Ling Bane Hydra. Again, larva is crucial. As we catch the active tumors. Ooh, Migs trying to go for the gold base. A little bit bold, a little bit crazy. Trying to rush into that gold. At the same time, Banelings are being morphed in, and Vindicta, he does scout them. Does force a cancel. Very nicely done. We can see uThermal's double expanding to make up for his dead base. His killed hatchery. Migs is pushing once again, does scout those Banelings. uThermal is having a hard time here, punishing the greed of Vindicta, punishing that gold. It's getting up and running. A nice catch here from uThermal. Oh, almost gets the medevac. Almost does get the medevac there. As Vindicta going to be reinforcing with 2 more. Meanwhile, uThermal is amassing his lean bane army. You can see though the disparity in supply is huge. A big part of that is just because of the killed hatchery and our limited larva. But uThermal, I do see that he does have larva lying around, which is concerning. Like, Vindicta's maxed out. That's insane. Oh, but he does take some banelings to the face. Good catch from uThermal. But again, you can see uThermal, he has larva. I'm concerned that he doesn't have some of these hatcheries hotkeyed. I'm trying to think of, like, he's got the bank, he's got minerals, he's got gas. We did have larva lying around, and alas, Vindicta, he does get behind the mineral line. Trading with the Link Bane. There we go, 18 more links on the way. Yeah, they do pop out of that 3rd base. Oh, that was a kill on another hatchery. uThermal down to 4 bases, an even base count with the Terran, something you never want to see. Thankfully, uThermal does have like resources to work with. As he's getting into his lean bane production. Drop once again into the main base, getting another 5 drone kills, pulling uThermal back home. And Vindicta is setting up for his push at the 4th. Does run into the Hydras. Bane's rolling in. How good are the mine shots? Not amazing. Bailing's a crash in. Vindicta forced to pick up. Forced to get the hell out of there. Dropping into the natural though. uThermal, meanwhile, he tries to break the planetary and it will not be broken. Gets 11 SCVs, but that was not worth it for uThermal. At the same time, we get into the main. Oh my, the target firing. Vindicta popping off in the main. Gets the bane lanes, gets into the mineral line. 6 drones go down. And Vindicta, he's just been out trading uThermal. And that bank that uThermal once had, it's not there, not anymore. Not anymore, as Vindicta, he's just pulling uThermal apart. And again, that's the risk you take as well when you roll random is, you know, there are some races that you're a little bit better at than others. It does feel like here in a more standard, more macro game, Vindicta, he has the edge over uThermal. Has been able to keep up. Has been able to shut him down. Oh, the mass around as well. We catch the Hydra's. Expensive losses here for uThermal. Does get caught out. It was a risky maneuver, harassing with Hydras, and he gets punished for it. Yeah, and this is the beginning of the end here. As Vindicta, he remaxes at 200 supply, and he's breaking this base. Bathing run by doesn't get much done. And Vindicta is snowballing out of control. He's rocking up here. Only Hydras to defend. Where are the Banelings? Where are the Lurkers? Where's anything else? It's just not here. Yeah, the hatches are going down one after the other. GG gets called, and Vindicta takes game number 1. GG. Again, Vindicta coming in as the favorite player depending on the race. Again, uThermal, it's really cool to see him playing random, and we haven't seen an active random player in a very long time. We were going over it the other day when we were casting uThermal in the ESL Open Cups about how, like, who was the last random player? You know, Balloon was competing as random back in Heart of the Swarm. We had Mighty Kiwi and Pez playing random a couple of years ago in like 2022, I think. But it's not really done too often. It's always exciting when it does happen. But we all know that uThermal's strongest race is Terran. He's strongest when he rolls Terran. If he rolls anything else, well, it can be difficult. It can be difficult to pull one over on your opponent. On top of that, uThermal, his initial build was thwarted. If you remember, uThermal was trying to go for a proxy hatch. He was trying to go for a proxy hatch across the map, but he was denied and he was disrupted, and in the end, did go in favor of Vindicta. But uThermal, he's going for a Dynasty. This is crazy. Dynasty feels very, very matchup specific here. Dynasty, of course, is the map with the gold base as the natural, and I feel like you can abuse that with some races, less so with others. What does uThermal have in store for us? Big gamble here out of uThermal. Hopefully he doesn't roll Zerg. Zerg struggles on Dynasty just because, unlike the other races, they can't punish the gold as easily as Protoss or Terran, unless you commit with roaches early on. So we'll see. It's hard to judge. Hard to judge. uThermal, what's he gonna play as? Terran, Protoss, or Zerg? Get your gamba going. Roll the dice, papi. Roll the dice. Let's go. Zerg is his worst. No, it is. It is his worst. uThermal's Protoss isn't too bad, to be honest. I would say it's uThermal's Terran, then Protoss, then Zerg. But here we go, we're getting into our second game, and in the top right hand corner we have, rolling his main race, the YouTube man, uThermal. This race is also crazy. In the bottom left hand corner we have, he hates him, Bobby, we have Vindicta for Platinum Esports. Let's go. Again, for some context, Vindicta and uThermal are good friends. Yo, the bathing snipes, they were crazy, mate. They were so good. Clem, Papi, true. Ay. But here we go. Now we can have a back and forth. You must have missed the ones I ran into. Yeah, we saw that as well. It's fine. Migs, why are you calling yourself out? Ay. Miguelito, por favor. We did also see him taking some bailings to the face. True. Humble man, Papi, humble man. Oh god. You know what's gonna happen? uThermal, he's gonna make a YouTube video about those bailings hitting Vindicta. You know that's gonna happen. Shaking my head. The YouTube man himself. He strikes again, making clips. But now we're getting into a TVT. Now, on the one hand, I want to favor uThermal in a TVT, or I should say that obviously it's his strongest race. It is his best chance here to bring down a player like Vindicta. At the same time, I would go as far as to say that Vindicta's best matchup is TVT. Now, maybe that information is a little bit outdated, but I always remember Vindicta bringing down Bjorn, for example, going toe-to-toe with Gumiho. Vindicta, like, his TVT is world-class, or it was world-class back when he was a full-time player. Nowadays, if you're unaware, Vindicta, he is a part-time player. He's got a full-time job nowadays, and he streams whenever he's available. You know, he streams in his off time. In his free time. So he's not as committed to StarCraft as he once was. So we'll see. We'll see how these two players compare. Because I guess they're both part-time players. As uThermal, he's more of a content man nowadays. More of a YouTube man. But here we go. Reaper is moving out. Vindicta was able to scout. He does confirm the Terran race. Is set up back at home. And the Reaper is going to be forced back. It does take an extra hit. Migs will hold. Behind this, Migs is going for his gold as his natural. Meanwhile, uThermal, I almost called him YouTube man. God damn it. Once again, uThermal, he's going for his regular natural base instead. So there is a bit of a give and take here. One, obviously the gold base gives you so much more value here. And this is putting pressure on uThermal. uThermal, he saw the gold. He has to punish it. He has to punish it. And you can see here, uThermal is going double Reaper, Hellion production. Reactor Reaper, Hellion. Very aggressive style here out of uThermal. Basically making an abundance of Hellions and Reapers to apply pressure to the natural. Meanwhile, Vindicta's being more defensive, getting into Cyclone production. The problem is defending this mineral line is going to be a little bit awkward, a little bit tricky. As uThermal, he's denying any kind of mining here at that natural base. Behind this, getting into his own reactor Cyclone production. But por favor, papi. As Vindicta, he does slip into the main base. He's going to get an SCV. Gets one. Oh, he's going to get a second as well. Very nicely done there by Vindicta. Meanwhile, across the map, Cyclone, he does hold, he does defend. Oh, that second ACV did survive, though. uThermal, he's got his own moves. But is still bleeding out units. Yeah, trading 2 for 2. As Migs, he's still in the main base. Finally, he gets cleaned up. The Reaper goes down. And you can see the dynamic here between our players. As uThermal, he is continuing Cyclone production. Meanwhile, Vindicta, he has stopped Cyclones and he's going into tanks instead. Tanks are on the way for Migs. But he does need to get them up and running sooner rather than later. He needs to establish this natural base. There you go, the tank is finally on the way. At the same time, uThermal going for a double drop or going for a Cyclone drop into the main. Trying to pull apart the attention of Migs. The Marines, oh, they barely almost moved out of position. Does hold. But the Cyclones, they're making their way into the main base. Boys, they have to be pulled. Are being pulled. We do defend. Now, even though Vindicta, he hasn't been mining from his natural and he's been taking some losses, what's important is that the natural is a gold. And now that it's up and running, he's making up for his deficit earlier. He's making up for his losses. He's catching up. Cyclones, they drop on top of the tank. They go for the drop. It's good on siege, good repair as well. uThermal being such a nuisance here, being so annoying, trying to create an opening for some SCV damage as he's going for the third. So is Vindicta. Both players taking their third base. Aliens once again harassing that mineral line, getting 2 SCVs. Cyclone drop rotating around. There is a tank in position. We do go for the drop nonetheless. Yeah, we're barely out of range. Again, very nice positioning here out of uThermal. As he is reinforcing with even more Cyclones. I believe he has Disable as well on that Raven. And speaking of, he goes for the Disable. Quick on siege. Oh, Mix Papi. Oh my god. Very nice on siege. Does get away. But is still losing workers, still losing SCVs. And that base is under fire. Again, uThermal doing so well here, punishing this gold. And this is the risk you take. And taking that gold base. Vindicta trying to get his third. But again, uThermal is just constantly in his face here. He gets another SCV. As uThermal once again just going for a tri-pronged aggression here. Drop into the main base. Push towards the right. Another Cyclone towards the left. He's just keeping the worker count low. And what's important is that Vindicta, he's just been stuck at home this entire time. Has been stuck defending. And uThermal, he's been free to just saturate his third base and run away with this economically. The medevac finally goes down. But this is an uphill battle for Vindicta. It's an uphill battle. You see uThermal trying to camp the production, rotating around. Trying to find wherever he can. His main army is moving out. Still has plenty of Ravens. Going for the gold once again. Vindicta has a comparable army, but again, he's spread thin. He's spread very thin between his bases. And uThermal, he can focus and concentrate everything here at the gold. He's ready for a counterattack. Once again, a more denied mining time here at the gold. Sensor towers are finishing up. There we go for the scan, but the tank is going to be going down. The Marines go for the dive. Trading a tank for a tank. Ooh, and uThermal, he will bleed out a little bit more. These Marines do go down. But Vindicta does hold. Now from here, uThermal has a choice to make. He could just take a fourth. He could just take a fourth base and contain his opponent, but no, he once again tries to dive in. Quick on siege out of Vindicta. Very quick on siege. Marines having a hard time engaging. More tanks on the way. Vikings have right. We're going for those. We're going for the Ravens. We get one. One Raven finally goes down. Vindicta trying to harass here at the third base. Doesn't know where the third base has been taken, so unable to do much. As uThermal moves out, is spotted by the medevac. So very nice catch there by Vindicta. Now he knows. Is getting ready. Is getting ready at that third. And again, I do appreciate this out of uThermal. With his map control, he is taking a fourth. Fourth base is on the way. uThermal does have the supply lead. He scans, he sees the fourth. A big tank shot's going off. Ooh, the mineral line under fire. Bold move. Migs going for his own drop across the map. Let's go. He's finally breaking free. But uThermal does have most of his army at home, is the problem. Even more SCVs go down. 8 worker kills. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, we disable the tanks. We're breaking through. And uThermal, this may just be too much. Yeah, it takes down 3 tanks and all the Vikings as well. Meanwhile, across the map, Vindicta, he tried to go for the triple drop, but he runs into Vikings. Has to back off. And this may just be game. I mean, it's just so much here in favor of uThermal. The denied mining time, the map control. Vindicta, he's just been stuck at home the entire game. He's finally moving out. And Vindicta, he's pretty all in at this point. It's all or nothing for Migs. 18 SVs go down. He's down to 45 workers. 2-2 is about to finish. And my apologies, we're taking a fourth. Or I guess a third. As his tank is finally going to go down. And uThermal, he's maxed out. Now, Migs, he can win a fight here. He can win an engagement, but he has to catch his army out. He has to rely on that positioning, uThermal. It's easier said than done. uThermal, he's pushing, he gets eyes on the fourth, does spot the drop. Going for his own. Let's go, Doom Drop versus Doom Drop. But uThermal has tanks. And he does already get into that natural base. CC goes down, we're pushing towards the main. And Vindicta, we have to go for our own push. There's no other way. He's going to try and hold, going to try and defend. He has 1 tank. And 1 tank is not going to be enough. At the same time, Migs pushing towards that third. Meanwhile, the main base, it has been broken. We're keeping the production. uThermal going for the throat. Going for the win. Vindicta, meanwhile, takes some big tank shots to the face. Does not make it into the main base. Yeah, both players are supply blocked, but uThermal has a massive supply lead. GG gets called. There's no way out of this, and uThermal ties up the series 1-1. GG. uThermal showing his dominance once he's able to pick and play his main race with that Terran in that TVT. uThermal, he just had his way with Vindicta. A lot of it came down to the features of the map, though. A lot of it came down to Dynasty. Again, We saw the difference here. uThermal, he avoided the goal base. He knew that the goal base is so vulnerable and it's so isolated and so easy to punish. That's why uThermal went for the standard base, went for more aggressive style, and he punished that gold so hard. Vindicta, he could barely mine from it, and he was behind as a result. He was just stuck and perpetually behind in the economy, behind in bases. And uThermal, he got out of hand. He got out of control. With that, GG gets called, and now we're tied up 1-1, and we're getting ready for our next matchup, Rex versus Art. Let's go. And I'm excited because Rex usually only plays in regional events. ESL Open Cup Asia or in regional, like, he's able to play as. I'm going to be really curious what his stats look like at the end of Code A and whether or not he gets into Code S is underway, and we're loading in to Dynasty. In the top right hand corner we have Rex for OFFSYDE, and in the bottom left we have Art for Platinum Esports. Now, as a reminder, this is Art, not to be confused with Art, as both players are playing for Platinum Esports. Not confusing at all. This is the Russian player Art, not the Polish player Art, I believe. Let me just double check. Yeah. This is the Russian Art, not the Polish Art. Both are on the same team, but and both played Protoss. I'm shaking my head. Let's go. As Rex is going for a Hatch Gas full standard opener out of our Zerg player. Meanwhile, Art going for his own gate expand. Meanwhile, a big shout out. Oh, Papi. Oh my god. Let's go, Rex. Big shout out to OnSide, aka OFFSYDE. Thank you so much for the $10 tip. Let's go, Rex. Rex fighting. Let's go. Annyeong haseyo. I believe the owner of OnSide or slash OFFSYDE. We do appreciate the support as always. And I'm sure there's no bias going on in the chat whatsoever. As for now, we are tied up 1-1. Still a lot of owners, a lot of pressure on our two players here to take a lead for their respective teams. Let's go. Both photos. Yeah, exactly. It's not confusing. Totally not confusing. Let's go. But again, standard opener from Rex going for a Hatch Gas pool, and we spoke about this map earlier. We spoke about how, the biggest feature of this map is that poker goal base and how abusable it can be, and we can see that Rex, he is avoiding the goal base. Honestly, I think this is how you need to approach this, depending on the matchup here, or maybe in general. As Rex, he goes for the standard natural, he avoids the gold. The problem with the goal base here is that it's so abusable with Adept Harass, with Stalker Harass. It's just so difficult to get up and running. So Rex, he doesn't even bother. And he should be going for that goal base as a third or maybe even as a fourth. Meanwhile, Art has chosen his tech of choice. It is not going to be a Stargate opener, it's going to be a Twilight Council. So a very aggressive build here from Art. A very aggressive build. Behind this, the gateways are on the way. We pull out of gas. This looks like glaives. This does look like glaive adepts here. Now, what kind of variation of glaives is what I'm curious about, because how many gateways? 4. 3 gates are on the way. 4th gateway is already done, so 4 gates in total, but there is no robo. This is a build that has been permeating throughout the European scene, throughout the European region. This is a macro glaive adept build. What I mean by that is that without a robo, there is no war prism, there's no way to reinforce across the map, and that money that would have been spent on a robo is instead going to be spent on a third base, typically. I guess we could double down and throw down a Dark Shrine instead, but I believe a third base should be on the horizon for Art. I see in the chat, Art with all capitals is Russian, Art with only A and T capitalized is Polish. Yes, but this is... Meanwhile, if you're in the chat, predictions are open, by the way. It is a little bit late, but predictions are open. Place your bets on how you think the series will unfold. Whether it's a 2-0 in either direction or a 1-1, best of luck. Best of luck with your predictions, as there's that third that we spoke about. Again, the reason why Arts can afford this third base is because there was no robo. Meanwhile, adepts have been warped in and they have to walk across the map. There is no reinforcement point, and there is no way to reinforce in the main base either, or ferry them into the main. Arts is an earthling. True. Este Art. And here we go. Adepts, they are going to be threatening that third. So far, roaches have been amassing. We have a Spore Crawler position as well. Good reaction out of Rex. Yeah, he is keeping up with the shade. He is minimizing his losses, and so far hasn't lost much at all. Good defense so far. He is keeping up. Behind this, he's free to drone. Rex is droning. Ooh, as Art is going to be reinforcing with additional adepts. Robo is on the way behind this as well. And you can see that Art, he is freely saturating that gold. And honestly, Art can't really do much about it. Not yet. But at least Rex, he recognizes that he's safe. He recognizes that he has defended. So he's freely droning, working towards a lair. Eventually working towards roach speed. And once Rex feels safe and secure, then he can start moving out and he can start harassing with Roach Ravager. Until then, though, Art's still being as active as possible. Threatens another shade. Doesn't commit. Bearing in mind that Art can't commit to any of these shades, because if he loses the adepts, he will lose the gold. Like, this is all that Art has to keep Rex pinned back at home. As Art is going for another gateway explosion, that's 5 more gates on the way. We're going for a push. Yeah, we're going for an Immortal Sentry push. We're going for a 3-base, essentially all in. There's no Forge behind this. There's no additional tech. No Bay, no Temple Archives. Very committed here. I believe he's going to have 8 gates in total. No, sorry, 9 gates. There we go. He's reinforcing with Stalkers. And this push is going to hit like a truck. And Rex, can he hold? Can he defend? We need Ravagers. What do we have? 2 more Ravagers on the way. Is that going to be enough? Art is pushing in. Ravagers are exposed. And he will get on top of one of them. Does try to at least. Yeah, good force fields. 1 Ravager goes down. And there's plenty more force fields where that came from. And you can see here, without additional Ravagers, force fields are key. Yeah, we catch more of these Queens. Queen's going to be going down. And the force fields, they cannot be broken. Finally, we do break out. With that 1 Ravager, we catch out more roaches, though. And Art, he's snowballing out of control. This secondary push is just getting too much done. Yeah, Rex bleeding out more roaches. Trying to harass across the map, but he runs into a brick wall. Yeah, and Art, he cannot be stopped. Not anymore. Gets a base, pushing towards the natural. We do have Summoning Bane. But Rex, who was just not prepared for this push, was not expecting it, not ready for it. And Art is even working on the next step. We have +1 and Blink on the way. We don't even need it, to be honest. Don't even need those upgrades, as this push isn't being dealt with. Bailey's rolling in. Good force fields once again. Yeah, they deny the Bailings. Once again, Ravagers are morphed in, but there's barely anything to support them. There's just not enough Zerg, not enough here. GG gets called, and Art takes a lead 2-1 in this best of 7. GG, well played. Again, Art, his initial build was a macro build. Maybe. But here we go. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have for Team OFFSYDE, it is Rex. And in the top right, we have for the Platinum Esports, it is Art. Here we go. Again, Art, he does take a lead for himself and for his team. The pressure is now on Rex to bounce back. And I do want to believe he can. Eyes are peeled here. What kind of builds we go for? For now, it should be a Hatchgas pull out of Rex. To be fair, I spoke about this before. We have seen a lot of gasless openers on Post Youth. Speaking of, we are going for the gold. Oh my, Rex, calm down. Okay. Rex, he's going to be cooking here. He's rushing into the gold. Very bold move here from our Zerg player. We'll see if he gets away with it. We'll see if Art is able to scout. Ooh, as we are asking for a small pause. Looks like there may be some latency, maybe a hotkey issue. Hopefully everything that. Oh, and here we go. Looks like the issues have been resolved. We're diving back in. Okay, Art, he does get into the main base. He's checking for the natural, and he will confirm that there is no natural, and that should prompt Art to check the gold. He's going to be checking the triangular third first. Upon seeing no bases, the gold base should be in the back of his mind. Oh, he's checking the triangular third first. Okay, Art, it looks like he's going back into the main, once again looking for the hatchery. He's actually looking for a proxy. Yeah, boys are being pulled. They're going to be main Art over towards the gold, and now Art knows. Now, ooh, a bit of a mystery, though. He thinks it's an all-in. Yeah, Art convinced it was a proxy hatchery. Going for two... Oh, Art! Going for 2 shield batteries. He doesn't know. And another pylon as well. Oh my god, a big overreaction here from Art. And again, he has not seen, he doesn't know. Ay, ay, ay. This is working wonders for Rex. As finally Art checks, he does confirm, he does get eyes on the gold base. And he does manage to cancel 1 shield battery, but the first shield battery finish, the second pylon finish as well, wasn't able to cancel everything in time. So a very good start by Rex. Very, very nicely done. No natural is unnatural. Oh, I wish that was true. Ay, ay, ay. Meanwhile, Rex across the map, he does confirm the Stargate. Does get eyes on everything. And I have to give the edge to Rex right now. Do have to give him the edge. Like, Art, his own opener was delayed, was disrupted. Rex, he sees the setup in the main. And Rex is going for a third. Ooh, Void Ray opener out of Arts. Interesting. Going for the Void Ray. Is he thinking about Sky Toss? I'm curious. So the Void Ray, the goal of the Void Ray is to shut down the Overlord. The Overlord is going to go down, and that means that Rex won't see what's coming next. He won't have eyes on whether it's a second Stargate, whether it's a Twilight Council, whether we skip the Forge. Rex won't know. And for now, neither do we. So once the Overlord goes down, then we'll see what Art goes for. He started an Oracle, does cancel. Going for additional gateways. The gateways are spotted by the Lings. Big scout by Rex. The additional gateways confirm that it's not going to be Sky Toss. So he knows that at least. Roach Warden gets thrown down. Additional drones on the way. Void Ray trying to hunt down another Overlord. And there is our tech. It is going to be a Twilight Council and a Forge. Okay. Twilight Council and Forge. Based on the additional gateways, +1 and Blink or Charge, I'm leaning towards Charge. But we'll see what Art decides to commit into, if it is going to be Blink. But now the Void Ray is forced back. Rex, he gets away with the goal base, completely untouched, completely uninterrupted. And I do worry for Art. I do worry for our Protoss player. And there it is, +1 in Charge. Again, I assumed it was going to be Charge just because of the prioritization of gateways. And there it is, Temple Archives is on the way. So Charge the Archon from Art. It is a very robust style, but it's going to take a while to get going. The problem with this is that we have to wait for the upgrades and we have to wait for the Archons. And by the time we do, Rex is already saturated on 3 bases. He already has the gold fully operational. He's basically on a 4-base setup. Bearing in mind that one of his bases is also a hybrid base. As in half gold and half regular. Yeah, and now we're amassing roaches. And look at the creep as well. Rex, he's looking to knock down that third. Doesn't have to break the natural. Doesn't have to break the main. His goal here should be the third base, and then he can just back up and tech. And I'm not so certain that Art can actually save and hold on to that third. It's going to be close. It is going to be close. You can see here that Rex has been at 55 workers for quite some time, and he has not made a single drone. Yeah, he's setting up for his push. Very committed. The rocks are falling. Void Ray has not seen this, has not scouted, not yet. You can see Rex avoiding the Void Ray. Does pull back, waiting for more Ravagers, more Lings. Overseer gets into the main. And here we go, Rex even coming in with his queens. We're waiting for a couple more seconds. Roach speed is now done. And there's just not enough in position. I think there is a shield battery in the back line. Yeah, one shield battery, one overcharge. We dive on top of the Archon. The Archon goes down. Big piles here on the Void Ray. And Art, he just cannot defend. GG gets called. Rex, he snowballs out of control and ties up the series at 2-2. GG. Ooh, a very, very strong start here by Rex. Again, going for the goal base, and it took far too long for Art to realize what was happening. Remember, Art, he checked the linear third, then the natural, then the triangular third, then the linear third, then he went for the natural again, then he was checking for proxy bases. It took Art so long to figure out what was going on. He was so convinced it was an all-in and a proxy that he threw down 2 pylons and 2 shield batteries as well. Big overreaction by Art. By the time he realized what was going on, he had already sustained so much damage, inadvertent damage. Basically, he had delayed his tech, he had wasted resources, wasted minerals. There was a lot that did occur there in the early game, and he was not able to actually punish or apply any pressure to the gold. Rex got away with murder. Got away with so much there. GG, well played, congratulations, as Rex does take the game, and now it comes down to this final best of 2. Firefly versus Eba. Let's go. Firefly versus Eba in a PvZ, and this is going to be dangerous. I have to favor Firefly. Firefly, he is the scouting, and information is key in StarCraft. Likewise, misinformation also is a big tool as well. And here we go, in the top left-hand corner, we have the Chinese Protoss player Firefly for OFFSYDE. And in the bottom right, we have Eba for Platinum Esports. Here we go. Ooh. As the pressure is on. Again, I have to favor Firefly coming into this. I say favor him, but we'll see how this does unfold. As the power here of WTL is that you are aware of your opponent ahead of time, and you can prepare specifically for your opponent as well. And as our players are getting into this, predictions in the chat are open. Place your bets, Papi. Place your bets. Predictions are open. Best of luck here on who you believe will take the series, whether it's a 2-0 in either direction or a 1-1 tied score. As a reminder, if we get tied up 1-1 scores, then we're going to the ace match. We're going to the ace match where both teams will pick a player each to field in that best of 1. Oh boy. So best of luck, everyone. Best of luck. Meanwhile, we do have a gate expand out of Firefly, standard opener out of our Protoss player. Meanwhile, Eba back at home going for a hatch gas pull, forced to take the unnatural natural. A bit of a more awkward start out of Eba, and Firefly could take advantage of Eba. So, talking about our players a little bit here, I was talking about how like Firefly has been the ace player and like an up-and-coming rising star. This is all true. But when it comes to Firefly's playstyle, he's a very aggressive Protoss. He thrives mainly in the mid-game. He's very much so a mid-game oriented player. He's very fond of going for Twilight Council openers or DT starts. In the mid-game, very fond of something like Charged Archon. And he's very aggressive, very in your face. And we'll see if Eba is aware of that. We'll see if Eba can keep up. For now, we're just getting into our openers. We're still yet to determine the tech of choice from Firefly. We can see that Warp Gate has not begun, and we see why. There is no Warp Gate because we're going for a Stargate opener. Stargate on the way here for Firefly. With this, it should be leading to Oracles, Oracle production, into a third base, into a Twilight Council. Meanwhile, Eba back at home, just setting up here with his 3 bases, soon to be 3 bases. And the dance has begun, the dance of Adept Harass with the Lings. Again, Firefly has to be so careful with his movement. Does dip in. Gets a bit of damage done, but does not kill a drone. Firefly is going to pull back. Does pull back. 2 Adepts, they do shade into the towards the third. Remember, 2 Adepts do one-shot drones. But they're busy with the Lings. Every Ling is going to go down, and we can threaten that mineral line. We do get one. One drone goes down, but only one. Nice control out of Firefly. He does save both Adepts. He does get the hell out of there. Does retreat behind this. It is that Oracle that we spoke about. And this should be leading into a third base. Now, Firefly has to be very careful. The dynamic here is that if these Adepts go down, then the third base is vulnerable. Firefly knows, and Firefly, he does make it back home. The Adepts, they got low, but they survived. So very nice control here out of Firefly. As he saves his Adepts, Oracle gets in between the bases. Oh, does bypass the Queens and gets one extra drone. And we do get eyes on those Lings. Meanwhile, additional Oracles are on the way. And we are settling into this. Again, least bets on 1-1, usually the easiest bets. True, true. I mean, it can be. I mean, to be fair, we've been getting a lot of 1-1s today. A lot of 1-1s. Some surprising ones as well, to be fair. As the Oracles, they do get into the main base. Ooh, bit of a drive-by. We get 3 drone kills. Good damage done here from Firefly. I think the biggest reason why 1-1 is a good bet is because of loser's pick, right? Specifically because of the loser's pick. When a player loses, they have a stronger chance to bounce back in game 2. Like, the lack of vetoes and the ability to pick your map is actually pretty huge. It's pretty big. It is something unique to WTL. As Oracles, they do get into main base. Once again, 4 more drones go down. Oh, Firefly, he's picking Eba apart. And again, this is just merely harassment. His third base is getting up and running. We have our follow-up. It's going to be +1 and blink. Adepts have arrived. We do have enough Lings to deal with this, though. Oh, the Roach Warren is going to be delayed. A big snipe there on the drone. No Roach Warren yet, and we're getting more economic damage done. Good target firing out of Firefly. Getting 9 drone kills. Oh my god. 9 worker kills and a delayed Roach Warren. This is getting out of hand here. As Firefly, he's ahead. He has a solid lead. Look at the trades. 14 workers, 9 Lings, and an Overlord for a handful of Adepts. And behind this, Firefly is fully saturated on 3 bases. He's getting his gateways up and running. Now, I was expecting a push with +1 and blink, but as we can see, we're taking up. We're going for a Robo, we're going for a Temple Archives. Firefly, he's going to be applying a bit of pressure with these Stalkers, but he's not going to be committing. He's spending his resources elsewhere. Ooh, as Firefly is getting caught out, has to be careful. Remember, blink isn't done. These Stalkers are vulnerable, but that is where the Oracles come into play. Because Firefly didn't lose his Oracles, now they can support the army. Now they can protect these Stalkers from surrounds. Yeah, it all, like, we have layers kind of getting on top of each other here, piling on each other in favor of Firefly. Good Ling run by, we deny the 4th. Very good counterattack by Eba. But he needs more. Needs more done. The Lings, they do get us around. They try to release. They get 1 Stalker. You can see the Oracles, they're going hand. The Lings, they're crumbling here. But we do get a couple more Stalkers in the end. What was that? 4 Stalkers going down. Not too bad. Blink just now finished. And that was a more efficient trade for Eba, trading minerals for gas. But we're bleeding a little bit too much here. We are bleeding out too many Lings. Firefly continuing to apply pressure. Behind this, he's got a War Prism on the way. Charge Storm as well. Remember, Firefly, this push isn't intending to kill a base or anything like that. He's just trading with the Lings. Trading with the army. Stasis Trap is set up. Big stasis on Lings. Oh my god! Now the Queens are exposed. That stasis was massive. The Queens are exposed. And Firefly, he's tempted. Oh my god, he is tempted. We get into a mineral line as well. Another stasis goes off. We got 6 more drones. Firefly showing us all what he's made of, showing us why he was the ace player of Platinum Heroes and Starlight Twinkle and even OFFSYDE. Showing why there's been a lot of hype around Firefly this past year. Ebo going for a run by. Hoping to catch a Firefly off guard. There is an Immortal. Is exposed. Big surround. Yeah, it's out of range of the shield battery. Immortal goes down for free. Finally, something goes Eba's way. That was a good start. I would still say that Firefly is ahead, but no good sign unless Storm Drop comes in. 9 drones go down. The harassment just doesn't end. Big Storm Drop there from Firefly. High Templar, they're still in between the bases, keeping these Queens busy. Oh, the Prism! Oh my god. The Prism does go down. Massive pickoff. They're hurting my voice, Pappy. I'm still not fully recovered. I can't handle it, Pappy. But there we go. Big pickoff. 4 High Templar go down. Eva getting an Immortal, getting 4 High Templar. Doing well. Like, Firefly, up until this point, has been doing amazingly harassing and picking Eba apart, but there have been some crucial missteps here from Firefly. Losing some hijack units. Eba still has a chance. And here we go. Firefly is pushing, does have plenty of High Templar behind this. Immortals as well. Even with those losses, it may just be too much. Lurkers are on the way. Storms, they do connect. Big revelation here. We have eyes on the Lurkers. Good target firing out of Eva. Does focus on the High Templar. But Firefly is still breaking through. Getting on top of the base. The hatchery is going to go down. There's no saving it. The base falls. The base does fall. And Firefly going for his own run by as well, keeping the attention of Eba here towards the south. We have the Prism into the main, we have the cells towards the third, or towards the fourth. And Eba, he's out of position. Yeah, big warp in. Massive warp in into the main. Good positioning here from Firefly. Does rotate around, trying to outposition these Lurkers. And the Lurkers are getting caught out. The Lurkers know where they need to be. Storms get thrown down. Another base goes down. GG gets called. There's just too much to handle. And Firefly takes a 1-0 lead. Here we go as we are getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have Firefly for OFFSYDE. And in the bottom left, we have as opponent, we have Eba for Platinum Esports. But here we go, we're getting into game number 2, and we do see Eba going for a 15-15, very safe opener out of Eba, going for that 15 hatchery, followed by a 15 spawning pool. Meanwhile, Firefly back at home going for a gate expand. Firefly going for that gate expand instead. Standard opener from our Protoss player. Now, this 15-15 based build from Eba can lead into roach aggression just because the gases are so late. I'm curious if that's going to be the case here. I am curious. As for now, there we go. The gases are being taken by eBay. He's not delaying them for too much longer, as he is getting into his gas income. Behind this, Firefly settling into his own cybercore, into his own tech eventually of choice, which I imagine is going to be another Stargate. Like, the thing is, after game 1, there's no reason for Firefly to really deviate. There's no reason for Firefly to go for a Twilight Council, to go for Glaive Adepts. He had a pretty standard playstyle, pretty standard build, and he succeeded quite well with it. No reason to adjust. But we'll see. We shall see as the Cybercore is done. And we should be soon seeing our tech of choice. Again, no Warp Gate from Firefly. Should be a Stargate. And there it is, Stargate opener for Firefly. Is going to be his tech of choice. It's going to be that Stargate. It's going to be for Oracle production. And we do see once again the Firefly moving out with his initial Adepts. And we'll see if Eva can keep up with the Adept harass. If he can have a bit of a stronger start here compared to game number 1. Remember, Firefly, he traded so well. He got so much damage done in that first game. I'm hoping that Eba can recover. As interesting, Eba going for the center hatchery. Okay. His third base has been chosen. Now, this center base does allow creep to spread a little bit faster across the map. It is a bit of a launch pad for an eventual roach-based all-in. Meanwhile, Firefly going for not Oracles, but a Phoenix. Very interesting. Phoenix opener here out of Firefly. He's going to be able to chase down the initial Overlord, and he's continuing Phoenix production behind this. Firefly, he's cooking. He's cooking, Papi. What exactly is he cooking, though? Overlord is going to be chased down. Third base is being taken by Firefly. But again, this is a very secure third. Because Firefly mined through those minerals on the right-hand side, there's actually no way to harass this base unless you also mine through the minerals or break through those rocks. Oh boy. We do see Firefly able to delay the would-be base of Eva. Catches a drone. Forge is on the way. Interesting, as he has continued Phoenix production. Looks like charged lots and alongside Phoenixes, I imagine. But we'll see. We'll see how Firefly pieces this all together. As Eva is going to be taking his Roach Warren. That was a sub 5-minute Roach Warren, so I'm feeling aggression here from Eba. Is saturating his base. Yep, there we go. Overlord speed is on the way. Adepts, they make their way to the mineral line. Drones aren't going down. The Overlord's alongside them. Now, based on this faster Roach Warren, I imagine we're going to be cutting workers soon. Imagine we're going to be cutting workers. We have plenty of queens as well. I believe we're setting up for a Roach Queen push. We'll see if that's the case. As Ewa, he's bleeding out more drones. Queens are getting ready to move out. More workers going down. Oof. But we do take down one of those Phoenixes. Good pick off. There it is. Roach is now on the way. Roaches are amassing, lair is done, and that means we can make Dropper Lords. Dropper Lords have suddenly become available, and Eva, he's not droning. Again, there's no reason to make roaches unless we're going for an all-in. And we spoke about it, because the center base was taken, it does mean that we have that launch pad to get across the map. Oh, and Firefly, he's taking, by the way. Firefly, he barely has an army. Uh-oh. And Firefly, yeah, he's being caught with his pants down. There is no army. This is it. 3 zealots. That's all he has. 3 zealots, 1 adept, a handful of archons. The all-in has arrived. And Firefly, he needs time. He desperately needs time, and again, he might have misread this a little bit. You see, he's desperately warping in, amassing an army, more archons on the way, more shield batteries as well. Eba, he has arrived, and he's knocking down this front door. There's the overcharge, desperately trying to buy some time. He needs time, Papi. But time is not playing true. Time is not playing. The gateways are being knocked down. We're opening up the natural. Cybercore is under threat. The Phoenixes, they cannot touch this. The Phoenix is struggling to engage. Shield battery goes down. And we are pushing in. Firefly dives on the army. Biles, they're going to connect. Ooh, they do connect here with the Archon. And again, no backup shield batteries. We are getting on top of the Queens, though. Firefly, he breaks through the defensive line of Queens, gets on top of the Raptors as well. He defends. He shuts down the all-in, despite not scouting it, despite not being prepared. And Firefly takes the series 2-0. I'm impressed. GG, mate. Firefly, remember, his army was 3 Zealots and an Adept. Plus the Phoenixes, to be fair, but like, he barely had a ground army. The push was moving out, and he did manage to hold on with those Archons, with those Zealots. May have lost gateways, may have lost shield batteries, but Firefly, he does take it. GG. Congratulations. Very well done. I wasn't convinced. I don't know if you could tell, I was not convinced there that Firefly was going to be able to hold on, but he does hold, and he wins it all here for Offside. GG. GG. Well played. Congratulations. Let's go. Let's go, Bobby. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for the $40 tip. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. All the money that we make here goes towards our tournaments, goes towards our events. Thank you so much for the support, and I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, because we have wrapped up day 2. Having a little bit of a closer look here at the bracket, we have Berserker Esports and Club NV at the top half of the bracket, followed by Twisted Fairy and Offside in the lower half. The big teams, the big dogs, they're facing off in the upper half of the bracket. No clear favorites. All these teams have some big names. You've got Club NV with Creator, with Dongray Gu. You've got Twisted Minds with Classic and Stats. And you've got Offside with Firefly and Rex. And even uThermal as well. Meanwhile, we're done here for tonight. Tomorrow's matches are ahead of us. We have the Starving Camels versus Team Gosu. Starving Camels versus Team Gosu, that is an elimination match. That is to determine who is the first player knocked out of the tournament, followed by Hyperberg and Platinum Esports. Both of these matches are elimination matches. We will be saying goodbye to some of these teams tomorrow. We will be saying goodbye. So it's going to be a bit of a sad, a bit of a bittersweet day of StarCraft tomorrow in WTL. But be a part of it. Be there. We will be. We'll be there, and so should you. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it, as always. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. And again, WTL Code A is, I think, every single day. Let me just double check. It's quite a long Code A here. So we have WTL tomorrow. Thursday, we have off. Okay. We're taking a day off. Thursday, there is no WTL. We're coming back on Friday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to be ending World Team League Code A in the next couple of days, in the next week. So, yeah, plenty of StarCraft. Plenty of StarCraft is up ahead of us. More importantly, something to add. Tomorrow, there's something else starting. It isn't just Code A, but I believe ESL Master Spring. I believe the ESL Master Spring regionals are starting up tomorrow as well. Oh boy, that is going to be a massive event here. It is the most important tournament for StarCraft, whether you're in Korea, whether you're not quite in Korea, but whether you're in Europe, Americas, or in Asia. ESL Masters is on the horizon, all leading up to DreamHack Spring or DreamHack Masters. DreamHack, sorry, DreamHack Dallas. DreamHack Dallas is at the end of the month, I believe. Be sure you're a part of it. Be sure you are a part of it. So yeah, something to look forward to. A lot of StarCraft, you know, ESL Masters, WTL, Stars War 11. That's a lot of StarCraft on the way. Look forward to it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings. Exclamation mark socials in the chat. I forgot to change the anonymous. All good, all good. Shout to OFFSYDE. Of course, I knew it was you guys. Shout to OFFSYDE. 안녕. 감사합니다. 감사합니다, papi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Papi. Awesome classing as always. Oh, thank you, papi. Thank you. Do appreciate it. And again, we'll see you guys tomorrow for day number 3 of World Team League Code A. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be heading off here. We're going to be going to bed. It's been quite a day of StarCraft. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We might raid for Jumi. I'll check who's streaming and we'll find someone. We'll find someone nice to send our love to. Thank you so much. Hasta luego. Bye. Hasta luego.